listen to Iron Giant with me on this week's episode of Cartoon Buffoons. I'm Wyatt, and who is here with me today, as always?
Hello, I'm Morgan, and I'm the burning bush from Prince of Egypt.
And we are here to talk about not a Cartoon Network created thing, but something very related to the network nonetheless, and very related to the Thanksgiving season. That's the movie Iron Giant, directed by Brad Bird, animated by Warner Brothers, cult classic. It bombed in the box office, but it's gone on to do great things.
Everyone between the ages of 26 and 37 has seen this fucking movie.
Yeah.
So
This is something, we're like freshly turned 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I remember, very vividly seeing this movie a bunch. What is your like first memory with the Iron Giant?
I remember vividly hold on. Wait, do I have to sneeze? I don't think so. I remember. Oh God,
Yeah.
hold on. Oh no. Huh? I muted because I'm not a piece of shit. But
Okay.
I remember vividly. This is funny. My grandmother showed me this. Like we were watching it.
Okay.
And I think she thinks it's a Christian movie.
Okay. Well, I guess it does have
And
some.
it's not like not a Christian movie, but it's also not a Christian movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember watching it and like with my mom and my grandmother at my grandma's house because we lived with her for a time. And I think it was one of the first times I got sad, watching something. Because like a lot of times as a kid, you don't really get the full spectrum of emotions.
Yeah.
But I think this was like one of the first times like, wow, this is making me a little sad. I was like obsessed with the Iron Giant's design. I thought he was really cool. Now that I'm like older, I know that he's like based off like all those like black and white sci-fi movie designs.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was so important to me. And also I was a kid that loved Superman. So this was also like it kind of like double beat my ass. I was so obsessed with this movie.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that stayed in rotation. I'm like, hey, Mom, I'm gonna rewatch Iron Giant again. And my mom, God bless her soul, was like, okay.
Yep. That's just what kids did. They just watched movies 100 million times in a row, like the
Just
same
ad
movie.
nauseum.
Yeah. Just the same. It's like, all right, this week it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like it's whatever. Like whatever I'm hung up on. The Donkey Kong and the Legend of the Crystal Coconut. That's what I'm watching.
I even remember because this movie didn't have the like slip cover VHS tapes. It had like the crunchy plastic one.
Yep.
So like I can like vividly feel that in my hand and like the texture of it all.
Did you have the toy that came along?
I did. Like it's, I think it was like because again we talked before grew up poor, so we didn't have cable, so a lot of it was me just like watching VHSs,
Yeah.
So this was in rotation. Green with Evil. I only had Green with Evil from Power Rangers on VHS.
I think
and some Rugrats episodes, but yeah.
Yeah. Power Rangers had a few VHS tapes, because my parents would just go thrifting and also like, to yard sales and everything. Because, I have very fond memories of like just driving around the freaking countryside of central New York and going to random people's houses, and then they would have like, a bunch of VHS tapes, like all the McDonald Land, like Klasky Chupo tapes, and they would have, like Beast Wars toys and, shit like that. And just like, I remember getting a bunch of like Alien toys, like, the movie Alien toy.
Yeah.
Before ever knowing what it was based on. I was just like, this looks cool. And then, later in life, I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
The phallic movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of implications in this design and the themes of this movie.
God, I don't know if you watch Always Sunny, but the implication. I always think about that scene when I hear the fucking phrase.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, Iron Giant. Similarly, first time I saw it probably was when I was like 4 or 5 years old, like after the movie came out. But like probably only a few times that I watch it on like VHS. It might have even been like a thing that I watched like when I was at like a cousin's house, rather than like owning on my own, because I don't remember ever having like, at least not of a new version of the tape. Because I didn't have the toy or anything, so that's not like an experience. That's not one of the part of the shared experience that I have. That like a lot of other people I've heard talk about this movie, like they've talked about that. So yeah, didn't have that really, and it wasn't really until probably when they started airing it like marathon style on Cartoon Network that I like really watched it and really appreciated this movie for what it was. Because before, when you're a kid, you like things, but sometimes you just sort of, I don't know, you don't. It takes a special thing for you to like really appreciate or love, and like kind of fixate on what you're watching.
Yeah, like I don't want to say you could just put anything in front of a kid, because that's just not true.
Yeah.
But there was degrees of it as a kid. Like as a kid, there was sometimes I was watching stuff that was just going in my brain, like jingling around and coming out. But there were things that just like settle in a way that's like, wow. Like this is definitely one of them. I think also the Transformers movie probably, but like there's things that like really settle into your brain.
Yeah, from like a young age, especially like you said, like Power Rangers VHS tapes were a big one. I mean, there was like the Power Rangers movie I remember watching a lot. The Turbo movie I remember watching a lot. The quote unquote In Space movie, which was just like all the Psycho Ranger episodes put together, like that I remember watching a lot. So I don't know, and like the Pioneer VHS tapes for Pokemon. I remember specifically the like ads for like the Ranma 1/2 movie before, like one of the Ranma 1/2 movies before.
What Pokemon thing had the Pokemon World song? It was the Orange Islands, right?
Yeah. We all live
in a Pokemon. I wanna be the greatest master of them all. I remember that on VHS also, dude.
Greatest milestone. Yeah, I had a lot of the normal like original series, like, or the original like the Kanto arc, that season, whatever. I had like the Sabrina VHS tape where it's like Ash dies and goes to hell and hangs out with Haunter and Gengar, which is pretty cool. That's I remember being scared of Abra because of how like menacing they made. Like Sabrina has like a talking doll for some fucking reason.
Yeah, the doll
anime that like sends out like Abra and Kadabra.
It's crazy because she's just a guy in the game. She's just like a woman. Like, it's crazy to... Also, you kind of sounded like a fucking punk as a child, dude. You were like a...
What?
You're fucking scared of Abra?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? I would kill Abra with my bare hands.
Well, because it was just, like, scary that she could turn people into dolls and, like, torture them whatever inside of a dollhouse, so...
Yeah, that's not a fetish you got. It's probably somebody's, but yeah.
Yeah. It's not a... if it is a fetish, if it is a fetish I have not explored it. So dude, that's the...
Yeah, we gotta get Wyatt turned into a fucking ball joint doll of yourself. Like, well, I'm an action figure. Let's see what happens after this.
It's like, all right, now I understand. Now it's no longer scary to me.
I was so scared, but this is super hot. Fucking hey. Dude, you think the first person to like fall into like a vat of like sticky stuff was like, hold on, this was scary at first, but actually
hard.
Dude, I'm so bricked up in here. It's crazy.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Iron Giant.
Yeah. All right, so how much do you know about the like? I don't know a ton, but I do know a little bit about like the production history of the Iron Giant. Like I know a few things.
Little. Yeah.
So like obviously Brad Bird, he's like the main guy, the director associated with this movie. The art style and everything, like the character designs look very Brad Bird-esque, especially if you just close your eyes and imagine The Incredibles. It's very similar.
Or even Ratatouille. I would say it kind of hits closer to Ratatouille for me in places, like with the body stuff, kind of. But same difference,
Yeah, and there's a lot of like hand and like gestury acting and everything. So yeah, it feels very in line with that. What's your opinion on Brad Bird, like in those, like the movies that he's done? I guess besides I don't know if anybody on Earth ever watched Tomorrowland or whatever, but just like, Incredibles and Ratatouille and Incredibles 2, like what are your thoughts on those?
Okay, so I like almost all his productions. I saw Incredibles 2 in theaters, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I was like, this is all right. And then I think afterwards, I was like, this is actually way worse than I thought.
Right, yeah, I kind of feel that way.
But I think he makes, and this is the craziest thing I could say, the wokest Republican movies on earth.
Right.
All of his movies, I think, are technically like kind of progressive on the front. Mm-hmm. But the longer you think about them, the more you go, this guy is like a George Bush dude, isn't he? Yeah. Like, there's just like the vibe to it. But I do think, like, when it comes to films, Ratatouille, beautiful film. Incredibles, beautiful film. Iron Giant, beautiful film.
Yeah.
Like, all really things I love a lot. And I think it's because there's such an emotion to everything that he makes. Not just like in like the animation or directing, but just like in, well, I guess more so the animation. Let's talk about the animation. There's a fluidness and like personness and like lived in quality to the movies that he makes in a way that I think is really neat. The Incredibles was so easy for people to become attached to because even though we don't really like get a lot of lore about the world, you get a lot of it just from like how Bob's moving through it. And I think Iron Giant also. The Iron Giant doesn't ever explain to you what this robot is,
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to because you feel it. You feel like what's happening and like what era of like this Cold War America is like. And Ratatouille also. I could like we could do an episode of Ratatouille later, like one day. But I have so many takes on Ratatouille, and it's crazy because I've always loved the movie, but I didn't like. I rewatched it when I was in culinary school, and it made me feel insane.
Yeah.
It is so deeply inspired by like real ass French restaurants and cooking, and as someone who's going to like school for like French fine dining, I don't want to be dramatic, but there's days where I'm like, fuck man, Ratatouille's getting me through it. Yeah. Even if the like some of the the way he does the Ratatouille dish at the end of the movie kind of would taste bad.
Right.
I could
would not make Anton Ego go back to his childhood. Dude,
Listen, look, okay. If someone fucking gave me like, oh, I ordered Ratatouille, right? And you give me this like stacked up shaved bullshit instead of like a real stew to eat, I'm getting pissed, dude.
Yeah, I don't want a deconstructed Ratatouille. I want to just have the dish,
Yeah, like fucking Remy, stop flexing, fucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Brad Bird is like a solid. He's a very solid guy. I think I haven't seen Tomorrowland because I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, of course.
And I didn't see Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol because I again didn't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of crazy how much of a drop Incredibles 2 is from the first 3 things he did. It's crazy.
It sucks. I mean, I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's just like, I don't know.
Don't think about it too long. The more you think about it, the less you like it. Like, it's crazy.
I remember back in like 2022, around when Turning Red came out, I went and watched all of the Pixar movies. Even the ones I never watched. So like Finding Dory and shit, and like Cars 2 and 3
crazy.
And
you'd watch Finding Dory?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And Incredibles 2, I was like, this is my second time watching it since I watched it in theaters, and I was like, yeah, this just is like kind of mid. Like, it's just like not great. Not obviously the first movie has a lot of impact, like throughout my whole life. But it didn't like suck super hard like Cars 2, and it didn't like frustrate me because it exists like Toy Story 4, you know,
I think that's like why it's almost worse. I think it's such a like I'm watching a movie and then you go home and go, man, that shit didn't mean anything. The only good thing about it is, and I'm about to get really Morgan for a second, dude, it is a Toxic Yuri movie. Yeah. It is a Toxic Yuri movie, so you got to give credit where credit is due.
No, I remember you talking about that when the movie came out. Like, I remember saying, like, oh, yeah,
she should have cheated on Bob. Bob should have got cucked.
Yeah, what the hell is her name?
Evelyn? Damn.
Yes. Yeah,
that's crazy. I knew that right away.
But, yeah, as far as, like, Pixar directors go, I think probably I enjoy, like, Pete Docter overall as, like, a director more than Brad Bird, though I'm conflicted about him now as he became like the head guy at Pixar and has made some questionable decisions with the company that I'm really against, and he's said some very whack things, you know, after they put some movies onto, you know, directly to streaming and they didn't do as well as they expected, so they're like, let's like never do that again, let's just not do that anymore. I mean, thankfully we do still have a movie like Hoppers coming out, which is Daniel Chong from We Bear Bears, which we will talk about. We will probably sometime in the future, you know, Cartoon Buffoons.
Yeah, but like at least like he is making sure we get good products like Kids Beyond That Phone, Toy Story. We're getting that.
Yeah.
The Kids Beyond That Damn Phone, Toy Story. Dude, Wyatt, I promise you, we will never cover that.
There's nothing you can do to I'm never gonna. I really can't imagine a future where I want to watch that unless I have another like manic episode where I want to watch every Pixar movie or whatever.
And I'm gonna hit you with a brick.
But we will never talk about it. At least, like, I would just watch it on my own. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, that's like, this is before Pixar, of course. This is after the point that he worked at The Simpsons, because he did work on there for, you know, like the first, maybe the second season. I can't remember exactly when he, but he left like pretty early.
You could like and if anyone's seen the early Simpsons, that should have fluidity that was terrifying.
Yeah,
yeah. And it's here. I want to say so. For those who don't, there's no way people don't know what the fuck the Iron Giant is about.
Right.
But I'll just say real quick: a giant robot from space lands. A kid finds it, and they have a deep, unbreakable bond that is ruined by the thing that ruins all relationships you have in the world. The U.S. government. Yeah.
This was the first movie I watched as a kid that made me be like, oh, is the military bad? Like, is the U.S. It's like not just like Mansley being a dick and getting in the way of things, but also like the military shows up and they're like, let's fucking light this guy up. You know, they're the military.
And they try to go like, no, it's Kent's fault. He told them they killed the kid. I said, now listen, if I know anything about the U.S. military, they didn't need no excuse to start shooting something that's different. Let alone in the Cold War era. They were like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. We love to shoot things that are different. Fuck yes, let's go.
Yeah, this is something that didn't really like... Obviously, I didn't think or notice it when I was a kid, it being set in the 50s. But obviously, coming back to it later in life, I'm able to be like, oh, yeah, of course it's set in the fucking 50s. Like, just the location, you know, it's set in like a shitty, like a Maine town. It's basically like the setting of It, you know, like that kind of town. Not as evil as Derry, but, you know, that kind of like... by the ocean, like port town, like in New England.
This place has more peace because there's not any black people in this town.
Right. Yeah, that is that's a thing that is hard to not notice.
Yeah, but and then the Iron Giant is voiced by Vin Diesel, who is something.
Yeah, well,
Vin Diesel is interesting, but yeah, like it's. I think like the setting of this movie is so good. I think one doing a animated movie with some like things against the government, that is also a period piece is so bonkers.
Yeah.
Listen, Republicans love to go, you couldn't make blank movie today. There's no way in hell that the Republicans would let this movie be made today. This shit would not happen. Like, they were like, okay, look at this wokelet. Oh, the bad guy's the military and the good guy is the beatnik artist. Yeah. The Iron Giant is woke. Like, just
get this the fuck out. Yeah, it is very like, there is a lot of things about it that I'm surprised, and that's why I agree with you, the assessment that it's like, because for years people have talked about like, oh, Brad Bird, he's like a libertarian, he's like an Ayn Rand guy. I think that those elements of
are here.
I think that those elements of Rand that people point to in Incredibles are more just superhero things than they are like specifically Ayn Rand things, the exceptionalism, the like, that kind of stuff. Because Ayn Rand is more about like, if you have great powers, don't use it for anybody. Just like fuck everybody else. Individualism, that kind of thing. Whereas like, Bob wants to use his powers to help other people altruistically. So there is a little bit of a, like obviously he wants to do it for his ego, but like. He wants to help people, whereas like in Atlas Shrugged or whatever, it's about fuck society, etc. So
I don't think that Incredibles is the most Iran libertarian fucking superhero thing. That's Sky High.
Right. Okay.
But,
Sky High.
Wyatt, if I could go into like a diatribe about why
came
Sky
out the same
High
year,
is
by the way. I think they're both like 2004 or 5.
Interesting. Sky High is maybe like the most like, hey guys, I think this movie's evil. Like, dude, oh man, look at me. I could be a sidekick even though I have powers. That's okay. Actually, I do have powers. And I think it's cool that I am a higher class than you. I think people with real powers should feel good. And like this, well, what about the psychic? The psychic saved the day. Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, they're not sidekicks. They're hero support. They are supporting us. They're betters. I'm like, I don't know if this movie's okay. I think there's a little vibe going on in this film.
Man.
Like,
wow, just like My Hero Academia.
No, honestly, I think all the issues of Sky High is worse than My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia said like this: here's our X-Men stand-in, right? The X-Men stand-in, right? They're wrong and evil. Actually, if you look monstrous, you should, right? So you fucking creep. But yeah, I think, like I said before, I think he like is the wokest Republican. I don't think he's like full on a monster, but I think he just has never like. I think he's a good guy who's never thought about his politics. And that's why you can make stuff like Iron Giant that has like a very nice message at parts of it, right? But also if you dig a little deeper, you go, he was still trying to make the military out to be kind of the good guy, though.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like, they just misunderstood the situation. That's why they acted so, because like, they are more of a neutral force than like a antagonistic force. It is still just scary, and like as a kid seeing like the U.S. military fight against the Giant when the Giant's a good guy. So, like, I think that's why I had such a negative response. But as an adult, I'm able to be like, oh, yeah, they don't really treat them as villains. It is mostly like, the Kent Mansley. And that is also a very Republican thing to be like, oh, a guy from the government he's the real problem rather than the military.
You know what's evil, guys? The FBI. You know who's good? The military. Dude.
They are not wrong about that.
No, they're not wrong. But they're like, listen, guys. Only one piece of the government does coups and stuff. The rest of the military and the government, really good. Those guys don't ever do anything bad. Like, it's the most like, if you read a book, you'd be crazy kind of political beliefs.
Right. Yeah. Especially like. 1950s is like Korean War era, like our post-Korean War or whatever, it's like before Vietnam and everything, which I'm sure Dean would have like a field day with that. I do like that he is immediately like, in the scene where he catches Hogarth in his scrapyard and he asks him like, please don't call my mom. And he's like, don't worry, I won't ever get the authorities involved. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, you're cool.
I do want to apologize ahead of time. Someone is mowing the lawn outside of my apartment, and I'm going to do something drastic if they don't stop. But go ahead, I'm still here.
No, that's fine. No, they're because I sleep in, through like until like the afternoon, usually because of my late work schedule. There are times during the summer where people are mowing the lawn loudly right outside my window, and I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ. It really pisses me off, but I really can't do anything about it because it's like 9 a.m. or whatever, so let them cook. That's fine. I did want to talk a little bit about how, Warner Brothers Animation didn't really get to make a ton of movies around this time. But I do remember the other ones pretty vividly. I remember Quest for Camelot, which was not good at all. And that was actually partially responsible for this movie existing, because Quest for Camelot sucked so hard that it tanked the studio. So they kind of had free reign to do whatever. They didn't have that much overhead as far as people, the company staring at them and giving them notes. I think that's what kind of led to a lot of the more adult themes in the movie, which I'm not necessarily saying it's this dark adult movie, but it's just
for the time, it's just it's only one kid. Usually movies like this get an ensemble. But it's really just the main characters you follow are really just Hogarth and Dean and the Giant, which is kind of weird that they talk about such a adult man with his relationship and friendship with a kid. Yeah, that's just kind of not done a lot.
Yeah, and there's a lot of PG cursing, a lot of hells and damns and God and things like that.
I do want to talk about the voice cast actually of this.
Yeah.
I think Eli Marienthal, does a crazy job as Hogarth, as a child voice actor. It's Hogarth is so good in this as a voice actor. He's so funny and expressive and just all around really great. And I can see why he played Tim Drake and some other stuff, because it's a lot of that is here. It's kind of bummed me out that he doesn't just do more stuff in general.
And Hogarth in general is just a really, really great character design of an everyman kid from, that's going back to this era, but can also fit in with kids in the 90s, he doesn't really seem that far.
He's a weird kid, and I think Larry Irwin has been a little bit of a weird kid. I think there's a fun through line of him making friends at the end of the movie that's not focused on, but I do the time skip at the end of the movie. You show that he's hanging out with people as he's made connections. Because it does the movie does frame it, for better or worse, that he is weird because his only friends are a giant robot and adult artists.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a very iconic scene where he gets hyped up on espresso and he's talking to Dean about how he's kind of ostracized at school because of he's in these higher classes and everything because of in his head he's just doing the homework, etc. And that's it's cool to track that he after the kids got saved from the Giant towards the end of the movie, and after everything involving the Giant and everything, he sort of became a mini celebrity in the town. So maybe that's how he got his foot in the door to befriend some of these kids. So that's that's a fun the final little thing at the very end of the movie is Dean is fucking his mom and that he has friends now, and it's hey,
that's crazy.
I understand, Jennifer Aniston, that's I get that. So.
Annie Hughes, super hot. Hogarth, I'm sorry, you got to get L on this one. Your mom is fucking smoking.
Yeah. She looks like a very hot the exact single mom from the 50s archetype, It's
don't ask her opinion on black people, but she's fine.
She's wife of Don Draper, whatever, that kind of character.
Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant, really good. Vin Diesel is good at voicing lovable big characters. We love him as Groot, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I know people hate Groot, but I think he's great as Groot.
I like Groot.
I like Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. We are Groot.
Yeah, we're all Groot. I do love that the Giant, he evolves throughout the movie a lot. Where and I can kind of buy that he's able to like learn and so quickly and be perceptive if he is like this alien technology that's supposed to like come and like conquer Earth, but is just like damaged, so he forgets his programming. But he can still use it to like correctly interpret information. At first, he can barely speak, but then like he's able to, you know, very like clearly say words by the end of the movie, and then he's able to like say like full sentences, you know, by the very end. So it's like it's just cool tracking that, and like yeah, he's just like this big fucking friendly guy, or like Hogarth mentions, he's like a big kid, and I think that that really comes through in his like acting and how he perceives the world. Is that consciously, as a being, he is very similar to like a human child in that like he copies others' behavior. He's you know, kind of like a little bit inconsiderate, but also has things like, oh, he feels guilt when he does something wrong. He feels like grief and confusion when he sees like the deer getting shot by the hunters. I do think it's kind of fucked up that you know, they scare the hunters away after they just shot this deer, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe they wanted to eat the deer, like maybe they they were hunting it for meat or whatever. They could be hunting it for just a trophy. I don't know.
This was 50s hunting. They were just killing it to kill.
Okay, yeah.
This is like the era of white boys love and do that. They still love it. White boys love that shit now. But yeah, it's also such a harrowing scene, but it's also so normal. Rewatching this movie, I love how normalized a lot of the violence is in a way that it's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up. Like, Hogarth playing with the gun with the Iron Giant reacting badly, and Dean goes, "Oh, he's just protecting himself. He's defensive." But also, it does make you think, why is it okay for this kid to like play the game of shoot the big monster, right? Why is it okay for these hunters to be out here shooting things when there are kids that play in these woods? Like, it makes you question a lot of stuff about the normality of the society they live in that I think, maybe on accident or on purpose, is really interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
To get into that, Christopher McDonald as Kent Mansley.
Yeah.
They did such a good job of having him next to Dean. Dean talks to Hogarth like he's a person.
Yes.
Kent talks to Hogarth like he's a fucking idiot. The way he talks to Hogarth as a kid is so fantastic. The fucking what's it called? The montage of him just like, hey sport, hey kiddo, hey ranger,
there, slugger.
Just like,
yeah.
Hey slugger. It's just like it's such a good showing of like, yeah, a lot of people don't talk to kids like they're fucking people, and I'm like, fuck, this is really good.
Yeah, and I love Hogarth's like his voice actor. He can yell really well. Like when he yells, like in a comedic way, it's funny. And then during that scene with the deer, when he tells the giant like don't do that, and like anger, not in a like, he's not like angry at the giant, but more like, you know, just sort of like no, don't do that, don't disrespect the dead, like that kind of thing, like trying to impart that wisdom onto him. And you know, it's a lot of like, oh, he has to be a father figure to this son. But he is still a kid, and he is still being treated like a kid. But only recently has he gotten another father figure in his life that treats him like a person, like you talked about with Dean, and talks to him like he's a, you know, just like equal, and is able to like impart some wisdom onto him that he's like, allows him to slowly like disentangle a lot of these biases. You know, he will still have them for, you know, because he's a kid, because he's so young, and because, you know, like the society that he grew up in and everything. Which is why, like, oh yeah, even he doesn't 100% understand that it's like hurtful to the giant that at near the end of the movie he plays the game that, oh, the giant is a Tomo and he's the, you know, hero going to defeat him, because the giant kind of understands implicitly that he is a machine meant for destruction.
Yeah, and even the giant go like no, like trying to stop itself whenever the things come in. It's I don't know. This movie's like about a lot of things, right? Like obviously the
Mm.
Red Scare. It's about a bunch of stuff like that, but also it's so much about a questioning of the nature and normality of like what we are told is normal. You know?
Yeah, and who
Like
we
I
are
think
meant to be, like
yes,
he's a robot, literally programmed to do a certain task, and yet, you know, a main theme of the movie is you are who you choose to be, which is introduced very like in a more controlled environment when Dean says it to Hogarth, talking
yeah,
about like his, you know, remedial classes or whatever, and then you know, Hogarth is able to echo that to the giant when he's talking about, you know, his choice to be a weapon, because the giant like reacts in anger at the, you know, perceived death of Hogarth, and
yeah.
like
Like even
returns to his original programming essentially.
even the soldiers, in a way, the way that they just kind of like without question shoot the robot.
Yeah.
The way that the missile gets launched off of an order that is not even from the person who's supposed to be giving it. There's a level of like, okay, well, these people, even though they're following orders or they're doing something, they've made decisions to be like this.
Yeah.
They like everything you do is a decision, even if it's just like your job or what's or what's told for you to do, or like what's in your programming. There's still decisions to be made, and I think Dean is such a great example of a character that exists in this to go like, oh, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. And he's weird. He's a beatnik. They make fun of him because of it. But like that's like the lesson that Hogarth learns, and so does the giant learn that like, yeah, everything you do is a choice, and it's such a good message and like delivery in a story in a movie like this. I still think there's like a bunch of little Republican nuances in this film, but it doesn't matter because I think like that's what a lot of people took from it. It's why this movie is so emotional.
I definitely
funny,
think that
'cause
he. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go first. You go first.
I was just saying, like, I think he does genuinely have like strong feelings about gun violence due to like he had like Brad Bird. I mean, had a traumatic experience where his sister was killed, like in his adult life, not, you know, in as a child, by like a gun shooting. So I think that also informed Incredibles 2, because that's like a big part of like the villain motivation in that movie is like, you know, an armed invasion, and, you know, like the Bob Odenkirk's dad got killed, or parents got killed, so, you know, the sister is super mad about that. You know, so I do think that he isn't like a like all Americans deserve guns kind of Republican, you know, like I think that
no, he's definitely like
he does like earnestly believe in, you know, like the genuine, like these are dangerous, you know.
I hate to say it, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's fiscally conservative, socially
right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
yeah. I understand.
Like, one of those guys. But I do also. I was going to say, this movie also understands Superman so well. One of the things that like stands out to me in this movie is that like it understands and gets Superman to a degree a lot of people just don't, and I think that's super important. Like, people go, oh man, I don't like that they made Kryptonians evil in a new Superman movie. I'm like this, it doesn't matter, because Superman's a story about choice. Like, literally, Superman has always been a story about, like, this is Clark Kent. He's the strongest guy in the world. He does not want to be the strongest guy in the world, but he is. So he makes the choice to be a good person every day. I think Clark is important as both a Kryptonian and as a nigga from fucking Kansas, but I do think the most important part about him is that his parents raised him right, and he wakes up every day and chooses to do good. It's the reason why all evil Superman stories about him no longer choosing to do good and just abusing his power. The choice is what matters, and this movie gets it. They understand that, like, what the Iron Giant has in common with Superman isn't just the, like, oh, I come from space and I'm heroic. It's the fact that both of them are beings that could take over the world, but choose to do good. It's like, literally, I love Superman. I get super emotional about Superman.
Yeah.
And that just feeds into me getting emotional about this movie.
Yeah.
Him going Superman and closing his eyes is maybe the saddest single thing I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah. It is like still a perfect final sacrifice in a movie. Like, I really can't think of many other like literally, like, not just animated movies, but just like any other movie that had like such an impactful finale like that, to where like I'm just chasing that high, you know, for like the rest of my life, as far as like, you know, maybe kind of a little bit Christian coded there, as far as like this hero makes a sacrifice, etc. But like in general, just the idea of like, oh, this again, this being that is made to like terraform a planet, basically, and do not get it twisted. As a kid and even as an adult, super badass when he goes into his kill mode. Like,
boo,
so
boo Wyatt.
cool.
Everybody boo Wyatt
Yeah.
now. Fucking goddamn Ready Player One ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
It is not cool. He's sad. I should kill you for saying that.
But like, just they put so much creativity in all the different like weapons, and it all feels inspired by different like, you know, 50s style like alien invasion movies, like the big tentacles on his back. That's very like War of the Worlds, you know.
The fucking disc that spins and a little claw hits it and it makes lightning go out.
God.
That shit was rad. Dude, honestly, he shouldn't be in this. He should be fighting Astro Boy. Astro Boy, get in there with this motherfucker right now.
Yeah, he is like a Pluto level threat, you know, as far as you know, like the strongest robot in the world. But yeah, just like, yeah, I can't even again watching. I've seen this movie a million times, and I was still crying at the end. I was still like,
same
during that section there, you know, because it is so impactful. And I don't know, it's just like it just is like pitch perfect. There's so much about the movie that you know, that is like so easy to talk about. Like we talked about, like art style is great. This was the 90s was just full of so many like weirdly high quality.
Yeah.
As far as like visually animated movies, it's weird now thinking about a lot of animation where like, you know, I don't think that there's any like really bad quality like CGI animated movies coming out now. But like, it's weird looking at like TV and like streaming and stuff like that, and most stuff that do animation and use CG like kind of look like crap compared to the stuff in the theaters that obviously have like these huge budgets.
Because like it's a money thing. Like,
yeah,
I will say
like, Iron Giant looks great, but 2D animation is a lot more scalable. Like, it's a lot easier to imagine like a TV show like The Simpsons or something like that can have these moments where it's like, whoa, this looks as good as a scene from a movie can look, you know. And I just kind of miss that era. Even garbage like Quest for Camelot, you know. So
Garbage used to look pretty solid, but it's funny. I was watching. I was thinking about like what I was absorbing. And like in the time period I was watching this, I remember vividly, I was fucking watching OA MS Team around the same time that I rewatched this when I was like in fucking middle school. And like I was like, wow, what two different things that are kind of similar. They're kind of, but like when you were talking about like the quality of this and like how good this looks, how fluid it is, it's funny because I watched the new Smiling Friends episode a few days ago, and they did a character who they animated traditionally.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember seeing it's like a
squim,
kind of very extreme 90s kind of like, you know, like a what is it? What the fuck am I thinking of? Like Bonkers or something like that, you know, like that kind of like the 90s animated like crazy kind of character, which I think is like
and like seeing Squim move in that episode and then go into this, I'm like, dude, you know what? Credit to Smiling Friends. They know how to like make the joke the animation because he's from 2001. So like the way that like it reminded me, I'm like, wow, they're like really going all in, and like the joke sometimes is the way you animate a character comparatively. But yeah, this movie was crazy good. I can't get over how much fun I had watching this again. I know it's good. Like, no surprise. Everyone fucking knows Iron Giant is good. But I was just like, I can't get over how much I thought after watching it.
Yeah. I do want to ask, because I talked a little bit about the other Warner Brothers movies of this time period. There's another one that I remember like being a frequent airing on Cartoon Network, Cats Don't Dance, which I have no idea if that movie's good or not because I haven't seen it since I was a child. Or Osmosis Jones, which I did watch a lot as a kid.
I think I've seen porn of the white cat from Cat Still Dance fairly recently.
Okay, yeah.
What, you fucker? Come on.
Right. No, I'm not surprised by that because, I'm sure this is a formative movie for a lot of furries.
Yeah.
But yeah, Osmosis Jones, that's another one that I really, remember. And then Looney Tunes Back in Action, which Nikki and I did a podcast of a few years ago and actually really enjoyed.
That's a solid-ass fucking movie.
Yeah, we're like, why is this good? Like, why is this way better than Space Jam? Why the fuck do people like Space Jam?
Whoa. Anti-black alert.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Michael Jordan, the beloved actor.
I will say, when the new Space Jam came out, I said, this is just a cash grab and it's not very good. I had to hold it in and not go, guys, I got some bad news about the first Space Jam. The first Space Jam is also not very good and a cash grab.
I will say LeBron James, slightly better actor than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan really stands out as like, I don't think he's like talked to another human being like the way that he acts in that movie.
Hey, what is this? What's this, Bugs? What are we going to do? And I'm like, fuck, man.
Whereas I'm like, okay, LeBron James, he has charisma. Yeah,
he does
this
the
is garbage,
commercials. He can talk to people. He's like, you want to Sprite cranberry, bro? But like there was that era was like a lot of those movies. Those were like school specials, weren't they? Teachers loved to break those movies out. I've watched Osmosis Jones in so many health classes, and I'm like, guys, I am learning dick from this. I am in the back of the class sexualizing the villain. You can't talk to me about anything. I'm talking about, dude, isn't the villain from Osmosis Jones so sexy?
Oh, right. Okay. I was like, was this before or after The Matrix? And it was. It was after. It was 2001. Yeah. Wow. August 10th, 2001. 1 month before our country would go, everything would go. I mean, not to say it wasn't wrong in the 90s, but
it was wrong.
But things went especially wrong a month from then. But yeah, Lawrence Fishburne as Thrax, one of the sexiest villains of all time.
Dude, so sexy.
Yeah, just like.
I will say, Osmosis Jones could have stopped 9/11.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. I think that if it was like I don't know, who the terrorists who performed the attack were watching it on the in flight movie, they're like, oh shit, we can't attack this country.
We needed to get Thrax to stop it. Put Thrax inside the box cutter, so when they grab the box cutter. This is a dark joke. I'm done. I'm stopping the joke. This is crazy.
I do really love the, in general, not to get into it, not to make this an Osmosis Jones review real quick, but
that's
the premise of like a super rare, extremely deadly virus that is, that becomes like, that's not based on anything. It's just like, what if there was a really fucked up virus that killed this guy? Is like, that's a cool villain premise if you're going to do a movie that's about, like you're turning the body into a world and everything.
I will say, oh, go ahead. You go first.
No, go ahead. I'm done talking about.
I do also think the fact that he got it from eating a filthy egg because of a monkey,
right,
is literally. Listen, look. I think we gotta rewatch it so I can judge if it aged well or not. Like, if it's so good. That is maybe like in my big age. I think about a man eating a egg that a monkey licked and getting sick, and it is still the funniest shit I can imagine on earth. Because like if he did that right, I think as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I think he should die. He should just die.
Also, like why didn't the chimp die? Like, why did it, if it had the virus and like, I mean, we're pretty much the same as them, so it should still affect. I guess I don't know, but it is what it is. I'm not even gonna get into that. I mean,
Thrax can only kill you if you're like an advanced primate, not if
you're like... exactly. It's like, I understand the difference here, so I'm gonna kill this guy instead of that other guy I was in. But yeah, anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about the different anime movies. Is there anything else about the Iron Giant specifically that you feel like needs to be mentioned before we wrap things up?
Really good movie, really good cast, really good voice acting, really good animation. I think everyone should buy this on DVD and show it to their kids. I'm not even kidding. I think you should show it to your kids and then cut it off before like they see the end part and go, remember, don't trust the government. What are you gonna
say? Did you watch the because there was like a signature edition released where they added some like cut scenes back to the movie?
No,
did you watch that version? I didn't actually. I just watched.
I didn't either. I didn't even fucking know about it. Fuck.
Yeah. So the major scene that they add in, well, they add in a scene more establishing Hogarth's mom and Dean, you know, as like a character arc, because that doesn't really come until like the end of the second act, really, where she's like, "Ooh, your artist makes me hot," and then. And then they add in a scene where when the giant like sleeps overnight at Dean's scrapyard, he sees its dream broadcast onto his TV and sees like the manufacturing line of like all the giants being made from like whatever planet he's from. And sort of like that's why towards the end of the movie he's like a little bit more distrustful of the giant when it like reacts violently, until he realizes that it was defense mechanism rather than like aggression.
That's kind of cool. Those are kind of neat.
Yeah, I think that those are fine. I think the movie still reads just fine without them. Like I still understood like that this was an alien machine sent to Earth to destroy it, you know, but by chance it didn't.
I think like I like establishing some stuff that has come out of nowhere, but also it's an hour and a half. It's an hour and 20-minute movie. I don't, you know, like we can all be real. You know, we could have just got out. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked how brisk this movie is, and I think like the only other thing that I want to bring up as far as you know, I've talked about before that I really like the, you know, the Americana aesthetic and everything. Maybe not so much like the 50s, but just like old school, like 20s and 1800s and stuff like that. I've always found like an interesting time period. But I do really like the fact. That this town is literally named Rockwell, like Norman Rockwell. And that just makes me. That just makes me think of the Norman Rockwell. He's the guy who did the painting of that guy standing up in the.
Oh wait! Oh, he's a meme creator. Okay.
Yeah, he's the creator of that meme of the guy standing up in the courtroom.
You know what's crazy? I actually know the name of the painting "Ode to Civil Discourse." Like, it's crazy that like I love that, like, just like, yeah, I love to just post that and go like say crazy shit like this. I love the smell of feet. Like, just crazy shit. You think we should bring Norman Rockwell back to life and show him every post that's ever been made?
Yeah. Why are these posts? Why is my painting under all this?
What are you talking about, bro? Like, dude, why does no one use my anti-racism paintings? Well, Norman Rockwell, we're busy, okay? We're talking about this guy standing up and going, I think it's okay to jerk off the hentai. Like, that's what it's about.
These are important discussions where expressions of the human soul that we're having through this painting. So isn't that what art is all about? But yeah, love this movie. Absolutely one of my favorite animated movies ever. You know, and just in general, like it as much as I like and have nostalgia for something like Osmosis Jones, probably a lot better of a movie, like just a movie that has like aged a lot better than that. And in general, like so much better than so many of the movies around this time. I mean, even like Disney movies, like around this time, like Mulan and Hunchback of Notre Dame and Tarzan. Tarzan, I love. Do not get it twisted. That was an early love for me. I love the gorillas and everything. The original Tarzan story is obviously super racist. Like, do not go back to those. But you know, is what it is. But this movie, I feel like, really stands above all of those like Disney, you know, animated Renaissance, like all those movies like from that era. It just sort of is like a weird gem, and I'm so glad that it has become sort of beloved as time goes on. Kind of sucks that Warner Brothers has like pilfered that corpse though multiple times and like used it in like Ready Player One or Space Jam or fucking
or
multiverses.
Multiverses. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
There's like, oh, you can be like the Garnet from Steven Universe and fight with the Iron Giant and like Neo or whatever and Arya Stark. It's weird that Arya is the one that they chose. Like, is she the only Game of Thrones character, or is Daenerys also in the movie? Or in the game? Am I imagining?
No, I don't think Dany's in the game. I don't think Dany's in the game. I think it was just Arya, which is crazy because like Arya's an assassin. I don't want to get into it. I was gonna say like
Jon Snow. Like, why the hell isn't he
Jon Snow with like fucking Pokemon trainer type moves with fucking ghosts would go crazy. Yeah. Brienne, put Brienne in her big ass, dude. Listen, look. I have no issue with Arya killing people. I'm not one of those chuds, right?
Yeah.
But I do hate it when Arya fights someone one-on-one, bro. That's not her job. She's an assassin. What do you mean she fought Brienne one-on-one and held her own? Fuck you. Right. She would sneak up behind her and stab her through the throat. Dude, no one knows ball. Me and George got to talk. Me and George got to sit down. We got to figure out how to fix this franchise.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? Anyway, I think that will do it. Morgan, how would you plug your stuff?
Hello, it's me, Morgan. You can... I don't know what the fuck the voice was. You can find me at Girl Next Door on Tumblr. I'm posting about wrestling and vampires. You also find me at Girl Next Door on Blue Sky also, but you gotta hurry up because apparently they saw a giant monster at Blue Sky and they're shooting a fucking nuke at it. Seems like an overreaction on my end, but you know what? They did what they did. You can also find me here on Buffoons because you're already here. You also find me on Eidolon Playtest. I'm in a mini series that by time this episode is out, at least 2 episodes will be out of the mini series. So if you want to hear me play the tabletops RPGs and be a little sicko, go to Eidolon Playtest or check out Audio Entropy, which is the the thingy I'm on.
Yeah.
Wyatt, where can we find you?
I do want to say real quick that you mentioned that the nuke thing. One, it's really fucked up that they have a nuke just like so close to
super fucked up.
Yeah. Second, it is like a great part of the movie, like how the grief that everybody feels and like the acceptance, the understanding that like the duck and cover thing is just propaganda and it's like completely worthless. So they're like, because their mom, the mom is like, shouldn't we get to a shelter? And Dean's like, it wouldn't matter anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I guess if it's dropped point blank on your city, there is literally nothing you can do, which is really fucking terrifying. I mean, no wonder everybody was so fucked up in like the Cold War era because that threat was always hanging over them.
Bro, Don Draper should have been drinking more.
Yeah. But anyway.
Where can you find you, Wyatt? Where can you find
Twitter and Blue Sky, Wasp Ranger, WAZP Ranger. It's mostly student of consciousness stuff, but I do post about videos I'm making, podcasts I'm doing. This one, I probably will put it up before I put up we recorded last week one on Fusion Fall. I'll probably put this one up before that so that it goes up on Thanksgiving, and then the Fusion Fall one will go up like the following week. I'm going to be going into solipsism hibernation mode for Metroid Prime 4. So, and then
guys, by the way, if you know like the scene in Toy Story like 2 or 3 where he like is in the car and he's saying goodbye to his toys one last time, right? That's Wyatt at our friendship. Wyatt's leaving me in a box with a fucking child as he goes to play Metroid
taking
Prime.
One last look at pussy before
Dude, so I made that post when Monster Hunter dropped. I says we look at one last look at pussy before fucking Monster Hunter drops.
Yeah. Anyway, go on over to the Patreon. Check us out. $3, you get the next episode, which will be, what the fuck is, I guess Fusion Fall will be the next episode. So check that out, $3. I guess the next episode that we're going to be recording will probably be the holiday stuff. So, yay. We get to, I know I'm the one that's forcing us to do this, but now that we're getting close to it, I'm like, we're going to have to watch like the legend of Frosty the Snowman and like, you know, all this shit. I do feel like all of the other reindeer is gonna be a banger though.
Yeah. Guys, you hear how Wyatt's like, oh man, it's crazy we're doing this. I know it's my fault, but it's crazy. This he's like Jigsaw, dude. I'm in the fucking cage and he's like, Morgan, your crimes have been existing as my friend. You will not, like, and I'm getting fucking tortured. Like,
yeah, you got too close to me. Now I'm making you watch total garbage. Let's, you know. But hey, at least we had a nice break from that with this movie.
Dude, we literally did see in real. Like, I need a longer break. Fuck you. Like,
yeah.
Whatever.
But all right.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.